Hey guys, Mr. Gran here, 6.5 Property of Special Parallelograms. In this video, we're going to talk about what the different special parallelograms are, and then specifically rhombuses for this video. All right, so when it comes to our special parallelograms, rectangles, squares, and rhombuses, these all have the same properties of all parallelograms. They are parallelograms. So the opposite sides are going to be congruent. The opposite angles are going to be congruent. Consecutive angles are supplementary, but there's some additional things, some additional properties that make them different and special. Here are examples of our three different special parallelograms: our rectangle, right? Our square, we've seen those before, and then a rhombus, right? Which is oftentimes thought of as a diamond shape. Okay, so what makes a rhombus a rhombus? It is a parallelogram, right? But unlike other parallelograms, this one, all four sides are equal, right? So all of the distances, all the lengths of all four sides are equal. The other thing is that the diagonals, right? All of them have diagonals that bisect each other at the center point, but rhombuses, the diagonals are perpendicular, right? So that is a 90-degree angle. Also, when it bisects, like when the diagonal gets drawn on here, it bisects these opposite angles. So those angles are bisected. These angles are also bisected, meaning they're cut exactly in half, like that. All right, so a couple of examples specific to rhombuses. We want the measure, so we've got a rhombus. We know it's a rhombus because all four sides are equal. We want to know what is the measure of angle RPS, right? So RPS would be this one right here. Okay, so two steps here. I know in any parallelogram, consecutive angles are going to be supplementary. So if I start out by doing 180 minus 70, I get 110 degrees. Now that means the entire thing of angle P is 110 degrees. So the whole thing here, right? Because this is a rhombus, that diagonal bisects angle P, meaning if I take that 110 and I divide it into 2, I get 55 degrees. That's how many degrees are right here and right here. So our measure of angle RPS is 55 degrees. All right, another one. Now we want the measure of angle ADE in our rhombus. All right, so ADE is right here. So I want this guy right here, this corner. Okay, so first off, I've got this 53-degree angle. There's a couple of different ways I could do this, right? This is bisected. Right? Angle A is bisected, so that means the other side of it is also 53 degrees. Now, I could use this as 106 degrees, right? And know that 180 minus 106 is going to give me angle D, and then I could split that in half, and that would totally work. The other way I could do this, I know because this is a rhombus, these cross at a 90-degree angle, so I have a right triangle here. And I have two angles in my right triangle. So I think the fastest way to do this would be to take that 180 that's within this triangle that I highlighted in purple and subtract out the 53 and subtract out the 90-degree angle that's right here. So subtracting those two, and that leaves me with what? I think a 37-degree angle for ADE. All right, and then last one with a rhombus. Solve for x and then find the length of GH. Okay, so what do we have here? solving for x, I've got 3 equations here. I probably need to set 2 of them together, but which 2? Now, whether or not this is a rhombus or any other parallelogram, these diagonals bisect one another. That point is right in the middle of both diagonals. So that means this side from G to our midpoint here and this side from J to our midpoint here, these are congruent. So I can set those 2 equations equal to one another. So 2x plus 3 equals 4x minus 7. And now we can just solve for x. We'll subtract 2 from both sides, 2x. We'll add the 7 to both sides. And so we've got 10 is equal to 2x, and the 7's cancel out. That means that x, when we divide by 2, is equal to 5. All right, so we get 5 equals x. That's the first part. Now we need to know the length of GH. So if I look at my diagram, well, there's no equation for GH, but because it's a rhombus, it doesn't matter because this equation for HJ is going to be the same length as GH, right? So I just need to plug this in now to 3x is 5 plus 1, and that is 15 plus 1, which is a length of 16. So there's our 2 parts to our answer.